And we got a hockey team to talk about. Fired up. We got Christmas movies. We got Christmas cookies. We got Christmas candy, presents, everything. Love it. That's also one of the best Christmas songs, of course, that is out there. Christmas music throughout the day. We really should just have it piped in throughout the entire show. That'd be a lot. Anyways, good morning. It's Jeremy and Joe here on WGR. Jeremy is off today. Joe Cali and Owen Parker are hanging out. And the Sabres won again last night. A 7-game win streak. Going into a little bit of a holiday break. We'll have Paul on in about an hour here on WGR. We have time for your phone calls at 803-0550. We'll get some football in, of course, as well. Sal will join at 8. He's got his "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" poem, Buffalo Sports edition. Again, that'll be up at 8. And my brother Lou DiBiase, Locked On Eagles, will join the program coming up at 8:30. Bill's opponent this week, who's been a very odd team all year long. But the hockey team. Got to start with the hockey team. Another one. Overtime win against Ottawa. They have not lost since December 8th. And they are gaining ground on everybody in the Eastern Conference. They're not in a playoff spot yet, but they are only 2 points away from Florida at the moment. And they are 3 points from a couple of other teams. Like, they are right. They're right in the mix. Man, that game last night, I think Lindy said it in postgame, that game had a playoff intensity to it from both teams. These are two hockey teams. I mean, Ottawa made the playoffs last year, so for them it might feel a little different. But these are two teams that have been largely disappointing for the better part of a decade. And they are both riding win streaks going into that game and probably feeling really good about themselves. And that game got to 2-2 in the second period, and it just tightened up. The way that you would expect a playoff game to tighten up. Not a lot of chances. The goaltending was pretty darn good until Olmark in overtime, which I wanted to get your take on that, Owen.
Yeah.
A knuckleball like that.
Those can be tough.
But in large part, like, that game was fast and intense and defense, and it really felt like, all right, that's what a playoff game could look like if this team ever plays in one.
Yeah, it was really, really fun to sit down and watch a Buffalo Sabres hockey game and go, this is like as good a game as you'll be able to watch in the NHL tonight. These guys are flying. Everybody is giving it everything they've got. And it was two good teams going toe-to-toe, and it was tight.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Isn't this fun?
It's fun.
It's
fun.
So much fun watching this team right now.
Fun with the Buffalo Sabres.
Right.
I'll take it.
They look like they're having fun.
Yeah.
The coach looks refreshed.
The clip of Lindy that they showed live for a second, but then the Sabres tweeted out a little longer version of it. Lindy and all the other coaches in the tunnel as the guys are walking to the locker room,
right,
with the fist bumps. I think, did everybody not watch that clip and go, Lindy's not out of gas here? No. Lindy's juiced up right now. Like, he's into it. I mean, the fist bumps he's given to Bo Byram after the night that he had. I watched that clip and thought, all right, Lindy's energized right now. In it.
Like,
because we were wondering a lot about him the last week.
Of course.
Yeah,
and I
naturally.
think for rightfully so, he's an older coach that's had, he's done it all around this league, and he loves this place, and he always will. So he's obviously not going to, just sort of float through it.
Yep.
But there was question about whether it was still, whether he was still the guy to lead them through all of this. And I think that he's showing right now, I got something to give you still. I can get these guys going. These guys respect me. I can, it's time. Let's see how this looks when we've got a good thing going. And I think he's doing a really good job. It's just, I keep coming. It's fun, man. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And I think Saturday is going to be a madhouse.
Man, people are going to be off leading up to it. And are people off Friday in general? I know we're not off Friday, but we don't have normal gigs here.
I think the general consensus just from people
are off
I
Friday?
know, they're off Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, I think most people get off on
All right.
Friday.
So people are off leading into Saturday. and you get a matchup against a team that everybody historically kind of consensus hates, right?
Right.
In the Boston Bruins. They are still above you in the standings. I looked this morning to see, because you might open up the standings and even maybe feel a little bit disappointed looking at it and going, man, they've won 7 in a row, and it doesn't really feel like they've climbed that much. Like last night, they climbed over one team. They climbed over Pittsburgh.
Right.
But I looked, and they have gained ground on everybody in the division. And that's just the division. They've gained a lot of ground on the teams in the wild card, like Philadelphia and the Islanders, although they've jumped up out of the wild card. They've gained ground on the Rangers, like some of these Metro teams, a little bit more. But in the Atlantic, in this 7-game win streak, which goes back 15 days, and keep in mind, that's just 15 days, so a couple of these teams have played a game or two more than them. They've gained ground on every single team, as you would expect. They've only gained 2 points on Montreal, Florida, and Detroit. Those teams have been playing really well. Now, Montreal, again, that's one. They've played 2 more games than the Sabres have,
Right.
and it's still 2 points the Sabres have gained. They've gained 3 on Ottawa. They've gained 5 on Tampa. They've gained 7 on Boston. Boston's a team that has been in a playoff spot a lot of this season, and most have believed, including myself, that will not last. That is not a good roster. They will definitely fall down, and that has begun to happen. Sabres have gained 7 points on them in 15 days. They've gained 9 on Toronto, by the way, if you care. I mean, they're kind of down in the dumps. They're maybe close to being an afterthought.
It feels good to just kick them down in there.
Right. Like, they might be an afterthought, and that's amazing.
Right,
That we're
exactly.
not to the new year, not to Christmas, and that is the case. So they have not gone too far up, but they've gained on everybody. And to me, you just got to start knocking them off one by one.
Right. I mean, we talked about it before this streak started, where like you're gonna need to go on a heater here, and it's not gonna feel like you're doing that much when it's happening. But you've got to trust that you just like keep winning games and keep climbing, and you'll put yourself in a spot where you can, there's gonna be teams in this group that's above them that falter.
Right.
And they'll falter again at some point. They're not going to win every game for the rest of the year.
They will.
But like this puts them in a position where they can be in it, and they are in it. They're 3 points out of that wild card, or out of third in the division, and 2 out of the wild card, and that is that's a good spot to be as you go into the holiday break, considering where they were, 15 days ago.
I wonder what this really does truly mean to them. Like, I want to get into more about the game and like that the goal at the end by Byram, and we've got Paul coming up. But I'm thinking a lot this morning about how much how real is this win streak? I guess is really what I'm asking. I think everybody is watching the games and is feeling pretty darn good about their overall effort, their compete level, and I have felt like there have been a lot of periods where they have simply dominated.
Yeah.
So I went this morning and I thought, we're close. It's not there yet, but let me go back to that 10-game win streak that the Sabres had in 2018 because that was also a ton of fun. But what I remember about that streak was thinking, all right, this is a ton of fun. They probably should make a big trade because that team was very, very flawed. And they should capitalize on where they are in the standings. Right. They were in first, which is different than where we are right now. They should take advantage of this because this is probably not going to last. And I didn't just mean like winning every game. Just last in terms of
being a solid team.
And what did that team do during that 10-game win streak? They won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 10 games in overtime or a shootout.
Right. I was thinking this as you started this point.
7.
Like, didn't they not win any of those games in regulation?
If the Sabres went out into a 10-game win streak right now, they couldn't get to 7 overtime and shootout wins. They're at 3 at the moment out of 7.
Yeah.
So it's happening a little bit there too. Now remember though, one of those games is a game that you lost a lead with. Actually 2 of those games you lost a lead in the final minute. So it's not like, oh, you got dominated and you just
got through it.
Threw together a comeback.
You
at
had
the
the
end.
game and kind of almost gave it away, but you
Correct.
didn't. And I
Correct.
am prepared to give them credit for almost doing it and not doing it.
Me too.
Because I think that in past years and maybe even earlier this year, it would have been very easy for that team to almost do it and then complete it.
Right.
Because that's what they did. And now they're not doing that.
They're
They're playing really well in the third period, and they're locking it down, and they're getting through the hard part of the game.
Yeah.
And that to me is what makes this streak real, like you say.
Yeah.
Is that they look legit. They
do
look like a team that can play consistently.
They absolutely do. The 2018 10-game win streak team, after they won 10 in a row, do you remember what happened immediately after? What happened after they won 10 in a row? I know it's back 7 years now. They beat San Jose in overtime.
And then
Skinner and Dahlin win it.
Right.
They lose 5 in a row.
Yeah, they get killed.
They immediately lose 5 in a row after the 10-game win streak.
Right.
And it's like, all right, bam, right back down to earth.
Yep.
This
and then
team,
that was it.
This team, as you said, like, they will lose eventually. Avoiding that, to me, is the key.
Yes.
And figuring out whether or not there are any similarities here. Because I looked this morning to compare, thinking that 2018 team was getting run over in some of those games, and they were winning in overtime, and they were getting some puck luck, and then that ended up being true. Like, they weren't as good. They weren't nearly as good as what they had been showing.
Right.
This team, I'm going to look this morning and thinking, this is going to look way better than it did then. Like
100%.
all their numbers and all their, because this is number wise. Because watching them, I'm very impressed.
Yes.
I'm very impressed by all of it.
Analytically,
I was stunned to see they're not doing well analytically. Mm-hmm. In the 7-game win streak that they presently have, and I almost want to preface this with, I'm choosing not to really care about this right now because of the vibes that are going on, and I think the overall compete level of the team, the goaltending that they're getting, and I wonder if there are factors that play into this. Like, again, they're playing with a lot of leads. So maybe they're playing prevent all day.
That is what I was just going to say to that, is that they are playing with a lot of 1 and 2 goal leads late in games.
So you're sitting back, and other teams pile up shots at the end.
Exactly. They're Corsi and their shots against.
Because in the last
goals expected against.
In the last 15 days in the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres are 7-0. They have the best record, but they're dead last in shot attempt percentage. They are third from last in terms of shot share, what percentage of the shots they have in a game. They are dead last in expected goals for percentage. They're dead last in how many scoring chances they get relative to their opponent. Like, they're at the bottom in everything.
Right.
And I don't know how much of that I want to chalk up to, well, it's because they are playing well and they are building leads, and then other teams are piling up shots at the end. I kind of want to think that is what's going on, because my eyes are telling me
they're playing well.
This team... Yeah, they're playing well. And I don't want to think I'm a sucker for just falling into the results. I legitimately think they are playing well.
No, I agree.
Good.
And looking at the games, like let's think back to the games. Obviously, last night against the Sens was a back and forth, just good hockey game.
Right.
Devils game, they're on the road. They're like, that's
back to back also.
Back to back, you are hanging on, you get the lead, and you're just doing that, shell up. Don't give them anything high danger, but we're not trying to do anything here.
Right.
Same thing against the Islanders the night before, right? They get that lead. They give it up late with that Kesselring penalty, but they're, for that whole third period, locking it down.
In that second half of that game, we were at that game,
right.
And I thought they got worked in the first 20 minutes of that game especially.
And then
they were far and away the better team, I thought, from there on out.
100%.
Yeah.
And then you go back, the next game before that was the Flyers game, which, again, they got a lead late and had to sit on it.
Yeah.
Kraken before that, same exact thing. Lyon has to play great. They're on the road. It's, a lot of let's hunker down here. We're not worried about going down and generating chances. And so, Canucks the game before that, same exact thing.
Right.
So that all tracks to our numbers aren't going to look great because we're not playing to win the game right now. We're playing to hold on to what we've gained early because we earned the right to do that.
And the other thing that is going on right now, although I don't believe they have scored on the man advantage in the last couple of games, I feel like this team, I've said it all year, that I think you can make the playoffs not being a great 5-on-5 team if you get goaltending and you get power play. And I feel like, it's undisputed right now. I think they are getting the best goaltending of the season in the last 7 games. And I do trust their power play a lot more, and I think it looks better. It's smoother when Josh Norris is on that right flank.
Yeah.
Everything works together better. So to me, even if you're not the best team at 5-on-5, and again, I feel like they are better than what those numbers are showing when at even strength. I am optimistic about their chances because of what they're getting in net and because of what they can do on special teams. It's not just the man advantage. It is, they needed it last night, that penalty kill at the very end.
Very good.
They made a mistake earlier in the game, but in large part this season, that penalty kill's been amazing. You give me 2 good special teams units and good goaltending, I can live with maybe not being the most consistent team at 5-on-5. But again, I think they have been in this stretch, and I thought they were last night.
No doubt. I agree. That penalty kill has been an asset for them since puck drop on the season. They've been really good there. Obviously, like you mentioned, there was that one mistake from Samuelson where all 4 guys got caught in the corner. Like, that's ugly, but it's almost so ugly that you disregard it in terms of their actual penalty kill system.
Yeah,
because that's just a mistake.
They're down to number 2 in the league now, by the way, in penalty kill. Who won from 1 to 2. Yeah. Colorado's number 1, and they're like a super team, so they almost don't even.
They are. They're like playing in the Champions League, and everybody else is in the.
And their power play is up to 15th, which it was low at the early stages of the season.
If you can have a top 5 penalty kill and a top half of the league power play, you need average 5-on-5 play and some decent goaltending, and you're good.
I also just like the way the roster looks. I'm choosing to compare to that 10-game win streak team today because that's the last time I've really felt like this. And really, they haven't had many win streaks like this the entirety of the last 14 years. I remember that team and just looking at the lineup and going, it still just doesn't look. Sabatka is playing as your third-line center, right? There were Ristolainen playing as high in the lineup as he was. There was always things about that team that I looked at the roster on paper and I did not like. This team right now, other than really Krebs playing as high in the lineup as he is, and honestly, that's going fine right now. I don't think you can do that forever.
No, I agree, but it's functioning the way you need it to right now.
Other than that, there's nothing about the lineup I look at right now and don't like.
No.
Everything. The top 4 on the blue line, the way Byram has been playing, and I think that goes even a little bit beyond last night, but I thought last night was clearly far and away his best game.
But he's been hot. He had a stretch earlier in the season where he was scoring goals like a maniac.
The Norris, Tuck, Oslin line has been one of their most productive lines that doesn't have Tage Thompson on it in years.
Yep.
The third line, McLeod, Quinn, and Benson has been tremendous. You're getting good minutes from that fourth line. Not maybe every night, but last night was one of them.
That fourth line was great last night.
Yeah.
It was great.
Greenway was, actually helpful.
Yeah, and they're still without Zucker and Kulik.
Right. So
who are 2 top 6 forwards for them.
I feel like this team has depth that some of those teams in the past didn't have.
100% they do. And I am...
And then when they have 5-6 injuries like they had at the beginning of the year, no team is going to really survive that. Right. Except Florida has kind of done it, and they've had those.
Well, that's because they are as deep as they are.
But you have 1 or 2 injuries. This group can, I think, sustain through or can make it through 1 or 2 injuries like they have right now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But
it's good.
The roster looks good, and the goaltenders are playing really well. Lyon really looks like he has found something to me. He, started off playing 9 of 11 or whatever that early stretch was and looked good, but towards the end of that, things kind of started slowing down for him, and he just looks a little hesitant. Mm-hmm. He looks so confident in the net right now. You see how far out he is on some of these chances where he's stopping these shots 2 feet out of his crease because he's just reading the game really effectively right now. And it's giving their team a ton of confidence in front of them. And, if UPL can play anything like he played the other night, against New Jersey. They're in really good shape back there.
Man, that save Lyon makes in the final minutes where does he make two?
I think there were two there.
Does he make the save with his arm on the rebound?
I think so.
Like while he's lying there?
Yeah. That's everything, And
yeah.
they didn't, there were a couple games they didn't get that save, and they still found a way. And that's what's really, to me, the most exciting thing is that they are working through tough stretches of bad breaks. And, when I had that rant a few weeks ago about Thompson and the bounce.
Yeah.
Right? I think
that was the first Philly game, wasn't it? They played.
Game.
Yeah.
That puck bounces off Thompson in the back, and he kind of lollygags back, and then talks about how it was a bad bounce. It happens. I was so frustrated because it felt to me like they didn't feel that they needed to put the effort in to neutralize any bad luck. And in this stretch, it feels like they're working so hard. It doesn't matter what happens. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if there's a bad bounce. It doesn't matter if somebody blows a tire and is down. Like, somebody's going to come back, check, and fill the spot. And that is why it was so frustrating in that moment, because you can make your own luck and make your own results if you just commit to, I'm going to work harder than them. And that's a lot of, I think, what has happened in these last 7 games for them. Is they've realized they can do that and they can just take care of teams. What did you
think of the knuckleball in overtime?
Tough. It's tough because
especially from the goalie perspective. Like, is that not impossible to save because you're not expecting it because players can't really do that on purpose?
No, it's very hard. You only have that happen when the puck gets up on edge and you end up hitting it flat, and the reason that happens is that the puck turns in the air and the air just pushes it around, and it literally like a curve or a knuckleball, like it literally floats through the sky, shaking. And so, A, it's impossible to track that shot if it's just straight on. B, it's a one-timer that goes cross, like as far a pass as you can make. And so Olmark is flying over, thinking he's going to get a BB at the short side corner, and ends up getting the knuckleball that curves in on the low far side of the net. And that's just, it's impossible. Like, I know he looks like an idiot on it because he's, sliding over and then reaches back. But that, I would have a hard time thinking any goalie that is at the play on time gets back across to get that weird knuckleball shot. It's a really tough play. I mean, everything you're doing in that moment, Allmark is thinking, I've got to get to that far side post because that's what's open. Because it's such a long pass. It's a one-timer. That's where he's going to be aiming it, and it just flutters opposite, and that's tough. You're playing percentages as a goalie, and the percentage lied that time.
Yeah. 803-0550 is the phone number if you want to get in on the Sabres. Man, they are better than that 10-game win streak team. That I was just looking at the schedule of that team. Not only did they lose 5 in a row after that team in 2018 won 10 in a row, so they, on February 12th, they were still hanging around. They were 2 points out of a playoff spot on February 12th. They then lost 22 of their next 25.
Oh, my gosh.
That's unbelievable.
That is crazy.
This team's not doing that. I think this team is better than that. I think they are going to be in the race. I think the way they look right now, the way the roster looks, I'm very hopeful.
Yeah. And we didn't even talk about all the front office stuff yet.
No, right now,
we haven't even got there.
Let's go to Paul in Buffalo to kick things off on the phones. What's up, Paul?
Merry Christmas, boys. You know everything is going well and right when the fourth line comes out and gives you Bowen Byram's first goal. That was a classic fourth line forecheck. 2 fellas go in. One guy hits the defenseman, pops the puck out. Other guy grabs the puck. Then Greenway floats up to the top, gets a pass, and does his best Connor McDavid impersonation and just puts one on Byram. So you could see the shock on Byram's face after he scored looking at Greenway. No one thought Jordan Greenway could make that pass. I tell you what, Jordan Greenway benefits from load management. And, we see Roseanne the next game, and I expect Isak Roseanne to play great. You guys talked about roster depth. One of the first times, not the first, but maybe the second or third time, all 4 pieces of the Jack Eichel trade were in the roster. Jordan Greenway, Peyton Krebs, Noah Ostlund, Alex Tuck. Let's not call dead deal on that trade yet. The Sabres have 4 rostered NHLers who contributed last night, made a difference. That's a good thing. And Lindy is fired up when at the end, Alex Tuch takes a hook. Look, it was a hook. Maybe the guy's holding his stick, but his stick was lateral, so that's going to get called. And Lindy is going ballistic. A coach is into it when he's going nuts on the ref for what was clearly a hook. That's what you want to see. Look, goaltending matters. Goaltending matters a ton. There was nothing better. Dylan Cousins gives Lyon a little bump. I don't know. He probably got knocked into him by the defenseman, and Lyon went ballistic, giving Dylan Cousins the business. That is what you want. These guys love playing in front of Alex Lyon and UPL the last few nights. Having two goalies that are hot, wow. Look out. Let's go, boys. Merry Christmas. Thank you for the Christmas miracle, the Bowen Byron game. It will live on because this team is for real.
Thanks, Paul, for the call. Merry Christmas as well. They also are getting, part of their depth is they're getting contributions from a rookie that is playing in their top six that has everybody slotted, I believe, in a better position, because part of your depth is when you lose Yuri Kulik and Jason Zucker, who are both players that they're either in your top six or they are in and out of your top six throughout the entirety of the season. When they're both out and you need somebody to step up, and right now you have got a rookie in Osland who is on an 82-game pace of 20 goals after scoring 3 in his last 5. An awesome deflection last night.
So good.
His contribution, I don't want to understate how important I think that is to a group. When you can get one guy a year, I think it's important to have that. Like, as a farm system, whatever, like, I've kind of lost interest in, like, the prospect pools of this team just because of the playoff drought, really, like, has done that to me. But I think, in essence, what you want to have is a guy a year to show up and do what he's doing, which is, oh, yeah, I'm going to step right into the lineup, and I'm going to contribute. And he's doing it, I think, on both ends of the ice right now.
Yeah.
And I think that is the other part of why they're winning. They have depth because they have a kid that's playing an important role with Josh Norris and Alex Tuch.
Right.
And it's going well.
And I heard a clip of Kekalainen yesterday specifically mentioning, like, I love that kid.
Yeah.
He can play.
And he's doing it in different positions. He's doing it on the wing now.
He's all over the place. All up and down the lineup. He's really fun to have on the roster, just to watch a young kid kind of learn the game and still be performing the way he has. It's been super, super fun.
He doesn't also lose battles for being someone that's 180 pounds.
He's very smart about how he uses his body to kind of block. He's really smart with reach, understands space really well.
He's got that Dahlin thing too, not fully yet because obviously of the age, but Dahlin when he entered the league had no, like, he was a teenager.
Right.
Like, he wasn't built yet. He didn't get pushed off of pucks because he was so strong on his skates.
Right. He was such a good skater that his edge work allowed him to stay stronger than his body would.
Like, balance, really.
Yeah.
And I think Osland's got something similar.
Yeah.
Like, he's given up 20 pounds to some guys, but he's so strong on his skates that he's not getting pushed off. Yeah. 803-0550 is the phone number. A lot to get to on the hockey team right now. We'll get to football. We got Sal today. We got my brother Lee DiBiase on the Eagles. He hosts the Locked On Eagles podcast. It's the Bills' opponent this week. But the Sabres are riding a 7-game win streak. Merry Christmas. We got more time for your phone calls when we come back. Paul in the next hour. All ahead here on Jeremy and Joe. This is WGR.